Brentford have had a great season, finishing 10th in the Premier League. However, in their future lies uncertainty, because after 8 years, Thomas Frank has only gone and joined Tottenham Hotspur, and it looks like he's taken Mbeumo with him too. And I'm really shocked at that, because he was with them for almost a decade, and he was doing insanely well with them, as you can see. But him leaving means they're without a manager, and that's officially where I come in, as I'm going to try to continue what Thomas Frank started, hopefully win a whole bunch of trophies with the Bees, with one of them, of course, being the Champions League. And guys, this is the team we've inherited from Thomas Frank in season number 1. And I didn't realise just how stacked Brentford actually are. You've got Sepp Vandenberg at the back with Nathan Collins, you've got Damsgaard, you've got Jon Wissett, you've got Brian Mbeumo. It's also actually a really young side, which caught me off guard, to be honest, because I don't know why, but I got it into my head Brentford were a much older team. And the best thing, in my opinion, we don't have any contract situation to worry about in season 1, which means all of this money pretty much can go on transfers. But if you've seen the title to this video, you'll know we're doing things a little differently, because every single season we're allowed a maximum of 3 signings, and all 3 have to come from the newly relegated sides every single year. And because in real life Ipswich, Southampton and Leicester City have been relegated from the Prem, in season 1 those are the only 3 teams that we're allowed to sign from, and don't worry, I have tried to keep it as up to date as possible. For example, in this career mode, say Liam Delap's already at Chelsea, which means if I fancy buying a striker, I've got to think of someone else. And don't worry, I've taken into account what's happening with this team in real life too, because there's rumours that a fair few players are leaving, but there's only one I believe that is set in stone. And that is, of course, ladies and gents, 24-year-old right winger Brian Mbeumo. Very heavily linked to Manchester United, but now that Frank's in charge of Tottenham Hotspur, I reckon they may hijack that transfer and get him to join them instead. One way or another though, I don't believe he'll be a Brentford player next year, which is why we've just sold him. And that's given us 91 million to spend. And I feel like that could make all the difference with this team. I'm not going to mess around with the tactics just yet, because I first want to bring the players in from Leicester, Ipswich and Southampton, and then we'll go from there. Now we're going to start with Leicester, and going through their team right now, there's a fair few players I wouldn't mind bringing in. For example, there's Bilal Alkanouz, 20 years old, 77 rated, a fantastic cam. There's Abdul Fatou, 20 years old, 76 rated, showing great potential. And of course there's Danish fullback Victor Christiansen. And it would actually make sense to sign him, because Brentford do like signing Danish players, don't they? But there is one other player I'd prefer personally to sign, and that is actually yet another Danish player in Mads Hermansen, who we've just spent 14 million on. Only 24 years old, 6'1", 77 rated, and yes guys, you're right, this is a very strategic signing. Because whilst Mark Flecken is a very good keeper, he won't take us to the heights that Mads Hermansen might just be able to, because he's much younger. But now that Mads Hermansen's officially in the team, that's Leicester City done, we're now moving on to the Saints. However, unlike Leicester City, going through their team, there's only 2 players I'd potentially like to sign. The first one is Tyler Dibbling, only 18, he's 73 rated, 6'1", and we all know how much of a beast this guy can turn into. To be fair, I could also sign Cameron Archer, couldn't I? 22, 73 rated, and again, he can turn into a monster of a striker as well. But there's one more player I'd much prefer to sign. Yes guys, you probably guessed it, £18 million was just spent on centre midfielder Matheus Fernandes. He's only 20 years old, he's 76 rated with a bag of potential, and he will slot very nicely into our midfield. So that's Leicester City down, the Saints down, it's just the tractor boys now. I have to be honest though, now that Liam Delap isn't a part of this side, it's really hard to decide who to sign, because there's not really many candidates for this. I mean, the weakest of the 3 that I've got in mind is Ben Johnson, a 73 rated right back. There's also a shout that we could sign Leif Davies, who's only 24 years old, 77 rated. And we could indeed go for Omari Hutchinson, who we already know has a bag of potential in his locker. The problem is that with us having Mikael Damsgaard and him already basically being an attacking midfielder, it'd be pretty hard to fit him and Omari Hutchinson into the same team at the same time. And we already have a really solid left back in Keane Lewis Potter, and we have 22-year-old Aaron Hickey as our right back. So honestly, it's a tough decision to make, because none of the 3 players that we could sign would fit into the starting team, and at this point that's ideally what we need. At the end of the day though, I had to make a decision, because we had to sign one player from the Tractor Boys, so I went for Omari Hutchinson for the total amount of 14 million. However, because he's got loads of potential but not going to be playing in the starting 11 every game, he's going to be sent out on loan. And he's going to be loaned out alongside every single one of these other players. And the main reason for this, guys, I want our starting team to get actual starting 11 game time, and if these guys are in our squad, that just isn't going to happen. But now that we made all 3 signings, it's time to focus on this team and figure out how tactically we're going to be set up for season number 1. Now, I've gone for the 4-3-3 attack with a counter-attacking build-up style and a fairly deep line. I know we've completely changed the formation to what Frank used to work with, but just let me cook. Because when we're on the ball on the counter-attack, this is exactly how our team's going to look on the pitch. And trust me, with the talent we've got in our team, this will definitely work. And guys, I've quickly shuffled this team around and I believe it's our best team by a country mile. I'm still not quite finished yet though, because I want to turn Young Wissa into a right winger now that we haven't got Mbuemo, so let's see what happens. Absolutely nothing. Bloody hell. We are, however, also converting Damsgaard to a cam. Let's see what happens with him. Nothing. What is going on, man? Why can't I get any luck with this? Well, at the very least, everybody's now in their natural positions. And that's officially all I can do for season 1, so let's just hope that by the end of the season we can do a little bit better than Frank did last year. Well, it has to be said, guys, we're at the end of the season and these stats look pretty damn promising to me. Young Wiss has killed it with 29 goal contributions, 13 in total for Igor Thiago, 7 and 4 for Kevin Shade. Granted, they're not anything spectacular, but I absolutely believe a top 10 finishes on the cards with these stats. I know they're not anything spectacular, but they're pretty damn decent. But that's not the best bit, guys. This is because everybody pretty much in the starting team and subs bench has grown quite well. I saw some +3s, +4s, even a +5, man. Why did EA take this feature out of the game, man? It's such a stupid move. Moving on from that, though, it has to be said, on paper, we are looking phenomenal. And it's still a pretty young side too, guys, but that's not the focus right now. Our focus is where we finished in the Prem. And we've actually smashed the top 8 in the Prem, only 1 point outside the top 7. For my first year in charge of the Bees, I will definitely take that. We, however, stunk the gaff up in the FA Cup, losing to the Saints in round 4. And we only made it to round 3 in the Carabao Cup, which honestly isn't my concern right now. What is, however, is who we'll be able to sign from in season 2. But bloody hell, look at this. We can sign from Bournemouth, Nottingham Forest and Sunderland. Nottingham Forest and Bournemouth are relegated. Could you honestly imagine this being the case next year? Me personally, I don't think there's a chance in how that happens, but the good news is we can sign from those 3 teams, and with 2 of those teams having some serious talent, I reckon next year we should definitely be aiming for Europe. And if you agree with me, you should get this video to 1,000 likes for me, and if you're new around here, you should definitely subscribe whilst you're at it. So here we are, guys. Season 2 is here, and we've got a whopping 70 million to spend. And when you consider the fact we can only sign from relegated teams, that isn't bad at all. This, though, is where we've got to really think about who we want to bring into this team. It's imperative that early on we make the right decision every single time when it comes to these transfers. Now, as it stands, I don't think we need a new keeper. Hermansen is the man for the job. Unless we see anybody better than Collins and Vandenberg, they're safe too. It's the same with Damsgaard and Fernandez, and to be honest, with Igor Thiago and Kevin Shade. And that leaves us with players that we could potentially be replacing. Young Wissa being one of them. I know last year was our top goal scorer, but he's nearly 30 years old and he didn't grow a single rating last year, which says to me he isn't growing anymore, and that is not what we need when we're trying to win the Champions League. As for our midfield, if we see a better centre mid than Jensen, he's definitely getting replaced. And it's the same for Hickey and Lewis Potter. But if we don't, it's not the end of the world because they're still both pretty young anyway. So we're going to start with Sunderland, and going through the team, admittedly, I have to own up I did make a mistake here. Because as you can see, Joe Bellingham still plays for the Black Cats, and obviously in real life he's just moved to Dortmund. So I'm going to throw a rule in right now to tackle this. If any players just like Joe Bellingham have in real life left these clubs that I'm scouting from, I'm not allowed to sign them. Which is a shame because Joe Bellingham would be perfect for that midfield. And honestly, having gone through the entire team in its entirety, there's no players we can sign for the starting team, which is gutting, but there is one player we can sign as a backup. And that is Anthony Patterson, who cost us 4.65 million to sign as a second choice keeper. And I think he'll be a decent one. He's 25, he's 74 rated, so at the bare minimum, we'll get 5 good years out of him. And now that the Black Cats are out of the way, it's time to move on to Bournemouth. And guys, going through this team, I really don't understand how these lot actually got relegated. And as you've probably just noticed from the players I've scrolled past, there's one or two that shouldn't be here. Dienhausen's one of them because obviously he's moved to Real Madrid, and Milos Kerkez is set to move to Liverpool, if he hasn't already, so obviously that means that these two are out of bounds. Evanilson, however, isn't, only 25, 81 rated, looks like a really good player. There's Federico Gatti, 27, 81 rated, great stats for a centre-back. There's Ukrainian centre-back Ilya Zabani, only 22, 79 rated as well. All three players I could happily sign, but there's one other player in another position that we do need to sign more than those three. And yes guys, you probably guessed it, Alex Scott signs for us on a 5-year deal for 14 million to be our brand new centre midfielder. And guys, he's quite literally perfect. He's 21, 76 rated, already got really well-rounded stats. All he needs is time to develop and grow into that position. And now that we've done with Bournemouth, we go on to the real heavy hitters this transfer window, Nottingham Forest. And going through their team, I truly don't understand how they got relegated, because quite frankly, overall they have better players than us. For example, Elliot Anderson, 22, 80 rated. There's Anthony Elanga, only 23, 82 rated. Morgan Gibbs-White is still here, 25 years old, 83 rated. And the list, as you see, literally goes on and on. The thing is though, I'm in a bit of a pickle now because of how much quality they've actually got. I don't actually know who to sign. Because there's also centre-back Nikola Milenkovic we could go for, and of course centre-back Murillo, who in real life was one of the best centre-backs in the Premier League last season. Overall though, I've narrowed it down to these three players. And somehow I've got to logically make a decision on who to sign based on what they bring to the table now and what they could potentially bring to the team in the future. As soon as I said that though, I knew exactly who to sign, so I went ahead and brought Anthony Elanga to the club in a swap deal for Jon Wissa for 28 million. And I know Jon Wissa was our top goal scorer last year, but just hear me out. We already have Damsgaard as an attacking midfielder, Carvalho is out on loan right now, and Hutchinson is going back out on loan this year, so that cam role is absolutely fine. We already have Sepp Vandenberg and Nathan Collins as our two centre-backs, and with them being in their early 20s, they've got so much time to improve still. Whereas Jon Wissa is 28 years old, 80 rated, not growing anymore anytime soon. Anthony Elanga on the other hand is already miles better than him, he's younger than him as well, and we're also converting him to a right winger, and he actually goes up in rating. We've now got an 83 rated winger as opposed to an 80 rated one. And now that we have signed all three players from all three relegated teams, that is officially our transfer window wrapped up for season 2. And honestly guys, I am beyond happy with how this team looks. Obviously we got lucky with Bournemouth and Forest getting relegated, but still, what we've done, that's pretty damn good going. And one of my favourite things about this team guys right now is just how young they are. Because if you think some of these are good right now, wait till the end of this season, because I reckon the growth will be just the same as last year. And hopefully if all goes well, we'll get a top 6 finish. But bloody hell, we're nowhere near, we are 15th in the Premier League. That literally makes no sense. How on earth does this team that is far better than last year finish 7 places lower than last year? I mean, honestly, how does that make a shred of goddamn sense? Ironically though, we made the semis of the FA Cup, or only made round 2 of the Carabao Cup. This has got to be the weirdest season I've ever had, and honestly, it doesn't get better from here. Because the bottom 3 this time are Everton, Middlesbrough and Birmingham City. I will say though, the stats are the best part about this season. 18 for Igor Thiago, 16 and 12 for Anthony Elanga, 9 and 2 for Kevin Shade. But honestly, that's the one and only good part about this year. Actually, to be fair, that's quite harsh. Looking at the team, it's obvious there's been a lot of progression. To be fair though, it's a damn good job that's happened. Because with us only being able to sign players from Everton, Borough and Birmingham next year, I highly doubt there's players we can bring in that are going to improve the team. I think we're just going to get bench fodder and that's going to be it. Now guys, we've just arrived into season number 3 and the first thing I'm going to do is actually mess around with our tactics. So we're going to keep the formation as it is. We're going to instead use a balanced build-up style and push our defensive line a little further up the pitch. And as for when we're on the ball, we're going to bring our fullbacks a little further back because I don't believe our attackers now need that defensive support helping them out. I don't know whether this year that will make a difference to this Brentford team, but clearly last year the tactics just didn't work, so it's time to change it up. Now this season we've got 60 million to spend in total. However, considering we're signing from Middlesbrough, Birmingham and Everton, I don't see us spending all of this money. And this is what I mean, man. We're currently going through Birmingham City's team, and quite frankly, how they even got promoted is genuinely beyond me. I mean, come on, man. I'm going through their midfield right now, and it's atrocious. And their number one keeper's only 70 overall. Yeah, it really is no surprise that they got battered last year. However, we have to sign one player from Birmingham City, and Jay Stansfield by a country mile made the most sense for 9.5 million. He's only 23, 75 rated, decent stats overall, to be honest. And in my opinion, he'll make a decent second choice striker. But now it's time to turn our attention to Middlesbrough. And just like Birmingham City, there's not really that much to shout out about. Having said that though, they are definitely a better team. They've got Tommy Conway for starters. There's also attacking midfielder Finn Azaz. They've still got Morgan Whittaker. There's also centre-back Dale Fry. And a half-decent right-back called Paul Jolie. So to be fair to them, they're not just better than Birmingham, they're levels above them. However, I'm not going to sign any of the Borough players mentioned. In fact, I'm going to spend 12 million on centre midfielder Hayden Hackney. He's 24 years old, 77 rated, really solid player, and has certainly increased our quality depth for that midfield role. However, guys, it's now time to go through the toughest team, and looking at the players they've got, there are some heavy hitters here. For starters, you've got Carlos Alcaraz, 23 years old, 79 rated. You have Duarte Branco, a Portuguese right midfielder who's 20 years old, 79 rated. Roger Fernandez, 80 rated, 20 years old. There's Dwight McNeil, there's Ndiaye, there's Rocco Reitz. I'm really struggling to see how the Toffees got relegated. As for the player I'm signing though, I'm making a pretty controversial decision here as I'm going for Roger Fernandez, who's cost us 29.5 million. Now I'm going to need you guys to hear me out on this one, because he's going to take Kevin Shade's spot on the left side of the pitch. And this is why he's 4 years younger, only one rating lower, he's rapid with good shooting, passing and dribbling, and I've got no doubt in my mind that once Kevin Shade gets sent out on loan, we convert him to a left winger, he will far surpass him by the end of the campaign. With that being said though, that's another transfer window in the books. And that indeed does leave our team looking like this going into season 3. But the biggest difference from last year to this year is the quality on our bench is vastly better this time. And I'm thinking that maybe that could make all the difference in season number 3. And guess what? That's exactly what it's done. We are back into the top 8. Still though, I can't believe Burnley have finished above us. But look at this, we've won the freaking FA Cup. So that means regardless of our finish, we've got Europa League football next year. And truth be told, looking at the team right now on paper, I'm not surprised. I don't even care about the Carabao Cup. We've won the FA Cup. And you look at the stats overall from our players and they're by a country mile the best they've ever been. Isn't that ironic? We have our best season yet after our worst transfer window yet in terms of player quality. Actually, speaking of, who can we sign from next season? Well, take a look at this. Nottingham Forest, West Brom and Bournemouth finished in the bottom 3. At this point, you got to feel for Forest and Bournemouth. I just hope that they've got players we can add to this team, because right now, unless they've got a couple of fullbacks, I don't see you signing too many starting 11 players going forward. Right then, guys, season 4 is here. We've got 73 million total to spend, and it's hopefully finally the year we get better fullbacks than Lewis Potter and Hickey. But if last year is anything to go off, I'm really not holding my breath. Going with the big guns first though, guys, in Nottingham Forest, and going through their team with the players they've got, how they got relegated is beyond me. They've still got Elliot Anderson in the team. They've got Moise Caicedo, who's 88 rated. They still have Morgan Gibbs-White. They have Brian Gill in their team. Matteo Guendouzi, Lenny Yoro. Nottingham Forest are bloody stat, for goodness sake. However, with Nottingham Forest, I'm going for more of a tactical approach, as I've signed their centre-back Alessandro Neves for 27.5 million alongside Aaron Hickey in a swap deal. And I've done this because he's only 20, he's 82 rated, fantastic defending and physicality, and he can play as a fullback. And that's exactly what we're after, guys. So that's Nottingham Forest ticked off the list. Now it's time to go for the cherries. And just like Nottingham Forest, going through their team, I don't really get how they got relegated either. They have a striker called Ali Junior Krupi. Tyler Adams is still there. So is Justin Kluivert, Dango Uatare, Federico Gatti. But more importantly, Anthony Robinson plays for them, and that's a game changer because he's another fullback. And just like that, for 33.5 mil, we got both our fullback positions sorted. And that, my friends, leaves one team, West Brom. And to be fair to them, going through their team, it is much better than I thought it would be. However, West Brom have got kind of lucky because I've already signed what I wanted in this transfer window. So I'm going to do them in solid and take their worst player from them in Jamal Mohammed, just so they've got a chance to come straight back up to the Premier League. And just like that, $500,000 later, that's our transfer window done. And the result of that is the team looking like this heading into our 4th year with the Bees. Now, I'm very aware that Neves is still a centre-back, but it'll only take him 25 weeks to become a full-back, and with some good form, that time will get chopped in half, so I'm not really too worried. But this year is different from the Bees because this team's got European football. And as much as I want to continue doing well in the Premier League, I'd love to bring home that Europa League trophy. This is awkward though, guys, because we're at the end of the season and we're nowhere to be seen in the Europa League. I don't know if I'm going crazy, but I'm almost certain if you win the FA Cup, you qualify for the Europa, so where the bloody hell are we? I mean, we aren't even in the Conference League. I know we didn't finish in a high enough place to qualify just like that, but the FA Cup means something if you win it. Guys, I'm just praying this team got it sat together in the Prem, because if we haven't got European football with this team, that'd be a travesty. And thankfully, we've done it. We are 3rd in the Premier League, and that means we're skipping the Conference in Europa. We're going straight to the Champions League. We didn't win the FA Cup though this time, and we didn't win the Carabao Cup either. But going off last year, it doesn't make a difference if you do win it. I will say though, the stats each and every year are slowly but surely getting better and better. In a season of good news though, here comes the bad. The bottom 3 teams this time are Leicester City, Norwich and Southampton once again. Here's the thing though, the last time we had 3 stinker teams to sign players from, we actually did the best we've ever done, so hopefully that can be the same next year. Looking at the team though, I highly doubt we're going to find any first team players. Whoever we end up signing will almost certainly end up being bench fodder, but truth be told guys, that isn't a bad thing. That's about the best thing that could be happening at this point. Especially as we enter our 5th year with the Bees with our highest budget yet of just under 170 million. There's a cruel irony to that, isn't it? We can only sign the relegated players from last year and we've got our highest budget yet. And on top of that, I guarantee not a single player will get into the starting 11. But I suppose you never just know, do you? So we're going to kick this off with Leicester City. And they do have solid players like striker Louis Montino. Bilal Al-Khanous is still playing for them. And they have a solid keeper in Sebastiano Despelanches. They've even got my long-lost brother Dexter Goodwin. However, I ain't going to sign him, I'm going to sign someone else. Instead, I'm going for Jorge Hernando, a 79 rated Spanish centre-back who's just cost us 16 million. And going from his stats, guys, he's actually not a bad player at all. He'll defo do as a backup to Collins and Van den Beek, but now that Leicester's off the list, it's now time to go to the Saints. And I'm actually pleasantly surprised going through their team. They've got some serious quality. They've got striker Gift Orban, Samuel Edozie still there. They have Jurgen Strand Larsen, Juan David Cabal, all 4 really solid players. But now at this stage with the Bees, I feel like we need a stronger second choice striker. And that's where Jurgen Strand Larsen comes in for 38 million. So that's the Foxes done, the Saints done. Now it's time to go to Norwich City. And to my surprise, they actually have a fairly solid team. They have Czech Republic right winger Matej Jurasák. They've got striker Tom Cannon, centre mid Paxton Aronson, Raksaki, and as you can see, plenty more Premier League standard players. So it's actually kind of curious to me how they got relegated. They definitely should have survived. However, they did unfortunately go down, which is where we come in and signing Paxton Aronson for 32 million. And now that we signed him, guys, that's our season 5 window wrapped up. And it has to be said, that window has done our bench proud, man. We've got so much quality here now. As daft as it sounds, we could actually go on to win the Champions League this season. We've easily got one of the best keepers in the world at this point. We have one of the best wingers in the world as well at this point. We have Matthias Fernandez, a fantastic Cameron Mikel Damsgaard. Seriously, guys, if we pull our weight this year, we could become the best team in the world. Never mind that, though, we're officially the best team in England by a country mile. 9 points clear top of the table, that is actually a joke. We once again smashed it in the FA Cup, making the semis. By the way, Wrexham and Chesterfield making the semis as well. Fair bloody play. And in case you're wondering, Arsenal did indeed spoil the party. And as for the Carabao Cup, Newcastle United won that. But guys, I'm really not fussed. We've won the FA Cup, we've now won the Premier League. All that's really left is the Champions League. And I think it's possible, guys, as we've made the playoffs in our first time in this competition. And that's where we quite easily breezed past Shakhtar Donetsk, but lost to Athletic Club on penalties in the round of 16. Oh, that's actually gutting. I ain't getting front. I honestly thought we'd have done it this season. And that's not me being cocky, that's looking at this team and making that judgment for myself. And as for the stats, well, they tell you everything you need to know. Our front three are genuinely incredible. As for the teams we can sign from next year, we've got Hull City, West Ham and Burnley. And honestly, I'm not mad at that, because I'm telling you now, with Dortmund winning the Champions League this year, it's only a matter of time before that's us in that position. So here we are, guys, season number 6 with the Bees, and it is time for that final push to make the Premier League champions the best team in the world. And we have over 200 million to do that with. But again, I'm not getting my hopes up. We've got 3 relegated teams to choose from. I highly doubt there's too many talented players, especially at this point in career mode, to choose from. I have to say though, West Ham have made me really eat my own words. Look at the players they've got. Bloody Endrick to start off with. I mean, how do you get relegated with him in your team? It gets even better though. They've got Nicolo Tresoldi, Adam Hlozek, Mohamed Kudus, Naif Aguard, bloody Gabriel, Odilon Kasunu, Juan Luis Sanchez, Alex Valley, Alex Mere as well in goal. I can't believe I'm going to say this, but at this point we've actually got a first team player coming into the team from another team. Yes, you guessed it, Gabriel is joining us from the Hammers for 61.5 million. Unfortunately, I've got a feeling from here it's only going to go downhill in terms of player quality. In fairness though, Hull City surprised me. They've got a fair few ballers themselves. They've got Mohamed Baloumi for starters, Mason Burstow up top, Samuel Ladozi's now playing for them. He bloody loves a relegated team, doesn't he? However, I think Kevin De Noir is the player I'm going for, 25 years old, 81 rated, and in my opinion, he is probably the best player they've got. And 27.6 million later, he's now joined us for 4 years. And that now leaves only one team to scout from, Burnley. And again, I have to say, pleasantly surprised. I don't understand actually how these lot got relegated. They have Cucho as their main striker. They've still got Hannibal in their team. They have Maxime Esteve still there, Sherelle Gertrude, Sungutu Magassa as well. The standard in the Premier League you have to be at just to survive must be sky high, which just makes our Premier League title win that much better. As for the player I'm adding to our team, Sherelle Gertrude joins us for 22.5 million. And there's a damn good reason I've just signed him. Because to be honest, we are short of quality, well-rounded defenders, and as you can see, he can play anywhere at the back. And with our goal this year being the Champions League, that's exactly what we need. And it has to be said, guys, I feel like we are finally ready for the Champions League. Especially our bench, man. Look at how much quality's there now. And it's like I said at the end of last season, if Dortmund can win it, we definitely have a shot at doing that ourselves. But not only have we got a shot at that, we've also retained the Premier League title. And I don't know about you, but I've just realised something about that. We've done it bloody invincible. 28 wins, 10 draws, 0 losses. Preston North End, Arsenal, and now Brentford. And ironically enough, we smashed Arsenal to win the Community Shield. We, however, didn't win the FA Cup, Reading did, which, gotta say, fair bloody play. And Liverpool won the Carabao Cup, which, by the way, I find it incredible at this point we have not been able to win this yet. However, the Champions League's more important, and this time we skip the playoffs and go straight through to the round of 16. And that's where we beat Stade Brestois 29-4-2 on aggregate. We just get past Madrid 5-4 on aggregate. And we beat Barca in the semis. We're playing Juve in the final, who, may I add, had a much easier ride to the final than we bloody have. Still though, that team is not one to be taken lightly. They might be playing a 3 at the back formation, but it's still a damn good side. However, with our attackers pulling numbers like this, Juve's back 3 need to be bloody terrified. As this is the team going into the final. Everybody's fit, everybody's fresh, no suspensions, no injuries, everybody is ready for action. And I think it's overlooked just how good this Brentford side's been so far. An FA Cup, an FA Community Shield, and back-to-back Premier League titles all in 6 years. And there's a good chance we could add the Champions League to that trophy cabinet. All we've got to do is beat Juve in the final. Juve coming forward there. Martinelli's on the ball against his former teammate Gabriel. He's come back. Juve still got the ball. Go. Oh, please don't tell me that's handball. Thank God for that. Oh, that's a good save of Manson to cry off the ball for a second there. Juve have got a free kick. Douglas Luiz is on it. I'm trying to get someone on the bloody wall. Nobody's letting me. Yeah, they're definitely going to take the free kick. Get that away. Oh, good clearance. Bro, Juve have been all over us, man. We can't get the bloody ball off them. Seriously, even when we do get the ball off them, they get straight. Look at that, man. We can't get away from... Bro, this is actually ridiculous. The amount of rebounds is actually insane. Right, okay, we've actually got the ball out of our bloody area. Can we... Oh, my God, no way. First attempt of the game. That is insane, man. First attempt after being absolutely battered for the first 25 minutes, and we're the ones who take the lead. I mean, that says everything, doesn't it? You may have chances, but unless you're pouring them away, don't mean a damn thing. Mark my words, that's the downfall of Juve in this game. They're going to leave themselves exposed at the back, and on the break every time, we're going to absolutely annihilate them. And this is Exhibit A. Alanga's on the ball now. We're going to go past Juve's defender here. We're going to find Damsgaard. Damsgaard is going to come across. I tell you what, he's going to score himself. Watch that. And there you go. What did I tell you? Talked it into existence, didn't I? I mean, call me Mystic Matt, because I literally predicted everything and it came into fruition. I'll be honest, we've been blessed with Juve being our opponent in the final, because from here on in, it is going to be easy. And I mean easy. Like, I'm not even worried about losing this game now at this point. It's just a matter of how many we're going to win it by, as we're going to feed Igor Thiago through. Oh, good defending, fair play. Oh, hang on, Konate's through. Ooh, fair play. They get a goal back before half time. I did not see that coming. I mean, fair play. They got one back. They're back in the game, but they still ain't going to bloody win it. I can tell you that for nothing. Here we go, though. Second off. Igor Thiago. Can we get... Oh, that would have been a great little lob through ball. Here comes Juve, though. Okay, I did not see this coming. Bloody hell, where the hell's this come from? Still not worried about losing, though, because we got Anthony Robinson on the ball here. Fernandez. Okay, we're going to go back to... Oh, we just ran into a brick wall. Igor Thiago was right there as well. Here comes Martinelli. Down the left-hand side of the pitch. He's going to try to cut in. That's a good ball in. Good clearance from Gabriel. I'll give credit where credit's due. Juve really are fighting to win this game, man. I thought they'd have given up. Damsgaard, though, on the ball. Engels is with him. Anthony Robertson receives. He's down the left flank himself. We're going to cut inside. Roger Fernandez is on the ball. Okay, this is a goal. This is a goal. Oh, you jammy git. Bro, how are you saving that? Seriously. Here comes Damsgaard, though. Oh, that's a gorgeous ball. Igor Thiago. Surely that's it. Oh, my days again. I begin to wish we bought a better bleeding striker, but nevertheless, Damsgaard, that's a gorgeous ball in. Headers, oh, they fit. Oh, what an attempt that is. Looks like headers are fixed, man. Jesus, that was close. Here they come, though, themselves. That's good defending from Robinson. I cannot believe we are 4 minutes away from extra time, man. We had this game in the bag. We do have a chance for a counter-attack here, though, if we get it right. We don't get it right. Oh, my Lord. Juve, man. What is going on? I've genuinely never known Juve to play so damn well. Ref, blow the damn whistle. It is past extra time. No, bro. I swear, if we'd have conceded there, that would have been the biggest scam in footballing history. We've just made about 6 changes as we head into extra time. Fresh legs at the back, fresh legs in the midfield, fresh legs up top. Let's get this done. Lawson on the ball. Okay, I see that. Alanga, you're through. Nobody's with... Oh, surely. 3-0, 3-0, 3-0. There we go. Where's that been the last half an hour? Like, come on, man. This could have been all done and dusted if we'd have just pulled our fingers out our backsides and played football. I will say this, though. It really just served me right for being so goddamn cocky after going 2-0 up. Oh, I'm an idiot. Here we go, though. Shade's on the ball. Okay, Shade. Ooh, shot from distance. Fair play. We're almost there, guys. One more half of football to go, and we are the best team in the world if we can just hold on to our lead, which by the looks of it, we may just add on to if we can get... Oh, my Lawson, bro. You got the mobility of a freaking, I don't even know, T-Rex. We may live to regret not putting that away. Okay, we've got a chance for a counter-attack here if we can get this right. Denoir. Okay. Bro, what? Does nobody know the meaning of hold-up football? Damsgaard, though, on the ball. Lawson. Oh, it's game over. It's game over. Lawson, do your thing, lad. There you go. With a minute to go, he's won us the Champions League. About bloody time as well, for God's sake. I will say, though, that's what I mean by a 3 at the back formation. They're so easy to split apart if you get the through ball accurate. Well, that's the full-time whistle. The job is done. Brentford are not only the best team in England this year, but the best team in the world. And we did that in 6 years in total using relegated players only. I'm pretty damn proud of that. And I've got to say, this year I've not used Brentford all that much, if at all. But they are damn fun to use. Overall, though, 2 Premier League titles, an FA Cup, an FA Community Shield, and now officially we are adding a Champions League to that collection. And that means my job with them is complete. If you have enjoyed this video and would like to see more content like this in the future, drop this video a big old thumbs up and smash that subscribe button. Thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to see another video from me right now, I reckon you should click here and watch this.